Checking in for another one. Today I got Street Fighter, The Complete History by Chris Carle on deck for y'all. Check out the book, let y'all know what I think about it. It's my thoughts. So let's get into it. Street Fighter, The Complete History is an overall generalized history book, if you will, of the Street Fighter universe. Although the book does state itself as being a history of Street Fighter as a franchise and series, it gives generic and general information at best. It doesn't really divulge into the in-depth history of Street Fighter, I found. The book, aesthetic-wise, is a 10 out of 10 with amazing visuals and artwork. So for those of you who are more inclined to appreciate a book's artwork, especially one of this nature being a video game franchise, would definitely like this book. All of the pictures in the book are either Capcom fan art commission works or Capcom official works of Street Fighter, and also has promotional art as well. Now, as for the information that's presented in Street Fighter, The Complete History, like I said before, it's very generic. For those of you who already know a great deal, or even not so much a great deal, but know pretty much about Street Fighter as a game, wouldn't be really shocked or surprised to come across any new information within the book. The book does quote many of the artists, developers, programmers, and guys who were just responsible for creating this franchise. So many quotes from these people are in the book from different interviews that they had. But as a fan myself, I would have liked to seen a couple of chapters just dedicated from the original creators of the Street Fighter franchise, just giving us an idea of what they were thinking at the time. Just kind of like a chapter that picked their brain, just to see what made them come up with this idea for this fighting game. Because Street Fighter was and is a first of its kind. Before Street Fighter, there was no other game like that. Although there were fighters out before and at the time, none of them had the complexities, if you will, of Street Fighter. So in my mind, they were not true fighters. Street Fighter defined what a fighter is that we know it. Also, Street Fighter is responsible for reviving the arcades. During that time, home consoles were dominating the video game market, and the arcade market was just declining. The home consoles had a negative effect on arcades, and with the release of Street Fighter, it brought back momentum to the arcade world. The book elaborates more upon this topic. It also goes into the Evo tournament. It said it has the origins of the Evo tournament and talks more about it in more detail. The book also covers Street Fighter from the first Street Fighter to the Street Fighter 2 series, to the Street Fighter 3 series, the Street Fighter Alpha series. It expands just a little bit upon the EX series, and talks also a little bit upon the Versus series. You know, the X-Men versus Street Fighter, Capcom versus Marvel, those type of series. The book also covers a little bit about the various movies and other merchandise and other things that come out of the Street Fighter universe. The book, in my opinion, focuses a little too much upon the nostalgia that the author feels towards the Street Fighter game, and probably the nostalgia that most of us fans feel, and it just tends to deal with that a little bit more than the actual hardcore facts that I wanted to know about Street Fighter. The book also talks about, gives a reference to a site. I'll have the link in the description to it, and it's pretty much the site where you can get just about any Street Fighter information. It's a really good site. It started by a collector. He's not the biggest collector, but the book definitely implies that he is. So, like I said, that'll be in the description. Just in conclusion, I would recommend this book to any Street Fighter fan, especially those of you who are very hardcore in the Street Fighter, and those of you who are artists, or those of you who like the overall look and aesthetic of Street Fighter. I would definitely encourage you to get this book on those pointers. But for those of who are more casual gamers or just casual fans of Street Fighter, if you will, I wouldn't recommend this book. You know, it's not what I expected it to be, but at the same time, it doesn't take away from one who is collection, if you will. It doesn't take away from the collection. So, with that said, this is Rick the Ruler checking out, telling y'all to be easy. 1.